I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the Family Showdown!
What's up, everybody? Hello. Stretchy McStretcherson. It's sleepy time.
I gotta stop taking these naps before the show starts.
We're getting old.
I am getting old.
So, how is everyone this evening, morning, afternoon?
Take fuzz off of me like a howler monkey or something.
I didn't eat it.
All right.
Fine, I won't take care of you.
Hi, everybody.
It's good.
How's it going?
Good.
It's the variety show time.
Variety of things.
Where we do a variety of things. Hey, you stole my line.
I did. The least I could do since I can't take care of you. It's okay.
Let's just jump right in.
Jump right in. Jump right in. Dive. Swim.
Jump right in with us.
Yep. So, what are we playing?
Did you see the little thing down here? 4 out of 100.
Whoa, let's go!
It's not very good.
That's fantastic. What are you talking about?
If you don't know, we made a resolution to play all our combined top 100 games in a year, and we've gotten 4 played in about 3 weeks?
Okay, now let's
3.5 weeks.
You guys know that top 100 list because we spouted it off to you at like 100 miles an hour, so you've seen it. It's a lot of heavy games. I think you should cut us some slack. It's during like the busiest time of the school year, and we got 4 games played.
Of the 100, we play some other games.
Yeah, it's not like we're like this list only. Grr.
I kind of do, but it's
You
not
are, you're
working.
a tyrant, a board game tyrant.
I kind of do.
In all circles, we call him BGT, board game tyrant.
Board game Thomason. Anyway.
It works on so many levels.
All right, folks, so we played, she didn't. I played 8 games since last we talked. She only played 6 games since we talked. And always I rank them from worst to best. I almost said best to worst. That'd be different.
That would have been funny, and I would have laughed.
Worst to best.
I would have given you so much grief.
Well, I played some games with the infamous Tommy.
Infamous Tommy!
So you know those are coming up quick.
Oh, man, so much smack. So much smack. Oh, and he is here to defend himself.
All right, my number 8. It comes in at a 5.
A 5.
At a 5. And I have to use a button because it's obviously not my game.
Snobbish. Snob alert.
And that is a Kraftwagen.
Kraftwagen? Is that like a wagon full of mac and cheese?
Wagen? I don't speak German. Kraftwagen?
Somewhere a German wants to slap you right now. I can sense it from here.
So I had high hopes about this game because it looked pretty interesting. But it wasn't. It was even Tommy's like, it was not good. It was really broken.
You guys broke a game.
No, it was just like, it was happenstance if you won or not. It was just, if everything just kind of randomly followed in place correctly, you got a ton of points. It was really bad. It was bad. Stay away from Kraftwagen. You should Kraftwagen the other way. What does that even mean? I don't know. It's a car.
I apologize to all Germans.
It's a car, I think, so you drive the other way. I don't know. Give it a 5. Not recommended. Not recommended. Anyway, so what it is? You're I guess you're a car making person in Germany. You're making cars, and you take those cars and then you sell them. And there's buyers for those cars that want certain aspects of the cars over others.
So Automania?
Kind of. It's a really badly done Automania. Anyway, and it just seems like that if you have, it has the turn order thing where if you're in the back, you go until you're in the front. So there's ways where you can strategically jump ahead and trigger the end of the round and sell a car for a stupid amount of money almost randomly. which is
Snipe.
yeah, it's really I did not enjoy that game.
I just like Tommy in the chat's like, in an unrelated note, I have a copy for sale.
It was
Oh my goodness.
pretty not good. All right, let's move on to.
That's exciting.
Let's move on.
I'm so sorry I missed all this.
Move on to another game I don't own.
Oh, but I love Glenmore. It's the same guy that did Glenmore?
Yes.
I love Glenmore. Chronicles.
And Glenmore uses that same. If you're in
I love
back,
that. Yeah, I love that
if you're
mechanism in that game.
patchwork. If you're in back, you keep going until you in
they
the
just
front.
don't utilize it well in that game, apparently. Because I love Glenmore Chronicles.
It was just yeah.
Man.
My number 7. I give it a 7. My number 7's a 7. And that's another one I don't know. It is Belfort. So this one was an okay game. I give it an okay.
You said 7, so that's okay.
I give it an okay.
Isn't that Met Plus? I believe that's a Met Plus on the.
That's meh.
The Met scale is kind of a sliding scale. It changes from week to week, so please don't use that with.
See, now that I do
anything
have
of accuracy.
7.5 as a Meh Plus. Now that I do have.
Oh, all is well. It's been reviewed.
So Belfort was actually a fairly good kind of, I guess it's a engine building, city building kind of game. But the 2-player variant was hot garbage.
Oh, but not cold garbage. It was like
It was hot garbage because it's an area control game. It's like the whole one of the big scoring aspects, probably the biggest scoring aspect of the game is the area control. And then basically the way the game works with 2 players is you take your turn, you do some stuff. Or whoever's first in turn order, assuming she's first in turn order. She takes her turn and does some stuff. Then I would take some turn and does some stuff.
Yeah.
And then you randomly put some NPC buildings on the board to mess up the area control. And then I put some NPC stuff on the board to mess up the area control.
And then I get to go again?
And then you go again. And you just say, I want this building to go in the place that hurts you the most. And then you go, I put this building in the place that hurts you the most.
Why don't we just punch each other in the face and get it over with?
It's
Because
really,
at this point I'd be like,
really.
I'm not a huge area control person
Well, it makes
anyway,
it even,
and that would make me kind of.
Because you work your whole turn to build up and control the area.
Like, ha.
And I go, haha, your NPC builds there.
I would flip the table.
Yeah, it was
200-pound table.
That 2-player variant. I understand why they do it because it kind of tricks up the area control, but it simulates other players building things. But you're building a player is not necessarily going to build. Like if there was a 3rd or a 4th player, they're probably not going to necessarily strategically build right in the area that's going to hurt the other person the most.
Tommy just said, "Oh, and who controls that NPC changes throughout the game?"
Yeah, it's by turn order.
No.
So whoever's first in turn order does the yellow NPC, and whoever's second in turn order does the blue NPC. So then if the turn order changes, now I got control of the yellow NPC, and you have control of the blue NPC.
Could I just be the 2nd-player variant and cackle the entire game and be like, ah! And just put stuff?
That's pretty much, and it kind of negated the whole area control, because obviously I'm going to put it in the place that's going to hurt you the most every time, and you're going to put it in the place that hurts me the most every time.
Yeah, so you just have an extra set of
and a lot
coverage.
And basically it took a lot of that area control kind of out of your hands and into the hands of the NPCs. Anyway, I didn't like that variant at all, but I do want to try this again with more players to see what it's like without that weird variant.
There you go. I'm with you, Joker. Like a dice roll or something would be better than that. I agree.
Or a card flip that
something
that is spread evenly over all the different regions, right?
I agree.
Something other than I'm just going to put it wherever hurts you the worst. And literally we would look at the board and go, okay, if I go there, you're still in first place. That does me no good. I'll go here. Oh, that'll tie you, so you'll lose 2 points. Oh, if I go here though, it takes the majority away, so you're going to lose 3 points.
That's causing you to like analysis paralysis. The NPC player of all.
That's how it was. You would go around. There was 5 different districts, and you would go around to each district and find which one would hurt you the most point-wise every time. It was. I didn't like it.
Point of information.
What?
Coraloo has taken offense at your meh scale in its latest iteration.
Oh, 7.5 is not a meh? Is that what it is?
The meh plus. It seems too high. It seems a little off. Yes.
I'm a little off, so there you go.
Well, there's your explanation.
All right, let's move on to some games I own and are actually good.
I don't understand his skill either.
I don't either. It's just kind of random.
Uh-huh.
All right, my number 6, I give it an 8.
So it's good.
And the only reason I give it an 8 is because it's kind of light and fluffy, which is fine. But it's not my cup of tea.
You're an 8 and you'll be grateful.
And that's Creature Comforts.
Only an 8.
It's kind of light and fluffy.
You're light and fluffy.
And it's upside down.
And so begins his subconscious.
What's funny is the box is actually the right. Oh, the back was upside down.
That's actually really funny. Okay, this game.
Well, I'll let Rebecca talk about it because it's much more than an 8 to her. So we'll let her.
This is going to be like a top 50 for me.
Probably,
like,
I figure.
This game is so adorable. You guys, you're little animals and you're making up a nice little like bed and breakfast so that it survives, you know, and you want the best bed and breakfast for hibernating through the winter, and you want the, you know, your guests to be comfortable, and so you do all these little set collections and resource management, and you're buying all these cute things, and it's adorable art, and it's wonderful pieces in production. It's really fun to play. It's worker placement and all the choices, like you have all these good choices, well, and it's like dice rolling, but so good. It's so good. Let me see if I can show you some of these pieces, okay? And you'll understand why. I mean, okay, you already have seen the art because of the box lid. Ridiculous. Also, not the world's largest board. Thank you. This is not
the standard size. What used to be a standard size board.
This is what used to be a standard board game size. You remember those days, kids? No, you don't. Look at that. It fits in the screen. I don't have to do anything crazy. See, I can set it on the table, and you guys can actually pretty much see the top. It's adorable. Yes. The art is useful. Like, it shows you the little areas where you can go. Oh, so cute. Okay, so you got that. Board game companies, continue doing this. I love this. So...
yeah, this was stored vertical. And
this is stored vertically. This helps cover this. Players each just scoop out their stuff. It's all organized, all the dice into little players. And by the way, they're cute. And Nessa's favorite, yellow bunnies. This game was immediately awesome in her book. And then this is my fave right here. See this? All the bits for the game. Nice little lid, cool wooden bits. You put it out, you take the tray top off.
This is the retail version. This may be the Kickstarter version.
And maybe the Kickstarter version, but please just do it with all your games. Seriously, it's worth the extra bucks. Okay, they just have it here, and this covers up some more dice. Then again, we're storing vertically, so all of this is in place. And these are great. These are organized by the seasons, so they have seasons, and you have a certain set, but then there's certain animals that come and visit, and you can get certain little benefits from them as you use them for like their stores or whatever. Gosh, there's just so many cute things about this game. Oh, you gonna fix that for me? Yeah. And I mean, seriously, the little pieces. I think the wooden bits are standard though, right? Aren't they?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
I don't think they are. I think they're going to be cardboard retail, I'm guessing. Almost everything's that way. Dude,
they need to do this for everything.
I could be wrong. I
hope you're wrong. This is amazing. It was a Kickstarter exclusive. Oh, okay. Well, I wish they would do more of this, quite frankly. And even if it is cardboard bits, I wish that they would do this.
But yeah, I mean, it'd still be useful even with the cardboard.
It would be crazy useful. And it's just so much easier. And I kind of hate that it's exclusive in some ways because I think it should be standardized. I know it's expensive. I get it.
They can't retail this game for like $80, $90. They just won't sell.
That's true too. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, oh my gosh, your game is going to be so much more playable. Just saying. But it's organized well. The art's stupidly cute. What I like too is the individual player boards. They've each got their little unique little homestead, which is adorable. And then you flip it over at the end of the game and it's your scoring board. That's greatness. I love it. Man, there's just so many little pieces to this. The gameplay is really fun. The little cards, let's see. Let me flip through some of these for you so you can kind of get an idea. So it's one of those games where the cards come up, but you'll get victory points. They have little victory points in the corner, but a lot of times they have a little extra benefit at the bottom, like bread, for example. Bread gives you 4 hearts, 4 victory points, but you get 2 extra victory points if you also have soup. Stinking cute, okay? Some of the, what? It's adorable! It's adorable. Okay, so you got these, and some of them, like, they have just little musical instruments, or they might have one, like the snowshoes has a little snowflake. Well, there's a card in here later that gives you extra victory points based off how many wintry items you have. And let's see, where's the one? Yeah, they have a board game, and it's 7 victory points because board games are awesome, but you get +1 heart for each other board game and toys comforts. They call them comforts that you have. So you have more that are labeled as board games or toys, and you get victory points for those, and it's just stinking cute. Some of them, like the piggy bank, you actually store some of the coins, the money in the game, and you can store them on here, and you get extra victory points per how many you store on there. They've got a little bit of a variety with them. It's adorable. It's really fun to play. It's fun. It's got slightly, different little critters you play with and stuff. It's brightly colored. And it's not a super heavy game, which is why Hunter's like, meh. But
it's good.
It's cute.
For a family weight game to make
this is an awesome family game.
Is
yeah, no, it's a cute family game. It's one of those that
forever.
But no, if you have a family that games, you can easily pop this one out, and I think it's not too bad to teach.
It's a little heavy. It's like Wingspan level.
But so if they're not, too overwhelmed by reading some cards and having some little surprises, there's a combination here that'll work or something like that, probably be pretty easy to teach people because it's really cute and people get engaged with it pretty easily.
I don't understand why you get to talk about creature comforts and I have to talk about Kraftwagen.
It's all about what games you play, sucker. I'm just kidding. You just said, you like this more. You can talk about it.
Now you gushed and took it away from me and started talking. I don't think I
did. It's so cute. No, it's really, this is a fun
do you like this game?
Nope, I love this game.
Oh, okay.
Love it.
All right,
I play it right now.
That's my number 6. Currently her number 1.
Just saying.
My number 5. We're moving up to the 9s, folks. If I did quarters, it may be an 875.
What is this garbage? What is that? Genotype. I'll allow it.
Genotype. Love me some Genotype. We got to play this. This is one of the ones that it was on our 100. One of the 4 games that we
Stop it. This is another good one.
You want to talk about this one too?
No, you go ahead because you're feeling all pouty.
No, I
talk about inferior games.
You do the unboxing, which is
inferior. I don't know what that means.
You're like the villain in the old cartoons.
I don't know why.
Pop in
I don't know where that came out. Twisted the mustache. I don't know why I did that.
Genotype. This is worker placement with dice, similar to Creature Comforts. It's worker placement with dice.
A little more scientific.
Huh?
What? Just my 2 cents. Go ahead.
It's not dice placement, though. It's worker placement with dice. Anyway, so this is in this game you're collecting genomes. I guess.
What?
I guess.
Oh no! Don't guess. No. I apologize to all the scientists out there.
You're basically creating different kinds of plants: tall, short, wide, round, purple, yellow, green, all those different combinations you had in science class. And you have like little contract cards that you're fulfilling to complete that, and you complete it by collecting dice with those faces on them. And the dice each round are randomized with certain faces, and you can influence by doing actions what faces come up more often because you have the normal, the little punit sound squares where you're
punit squares.
So some are more common than others. Some traits are more common than others, but you can influence those by taking actions and completing these contracts. You also get superpowers. There's cards you collect that give you one-shot superpowers. There's assistants you can recruit that give you permanent superpowers. You can get more places to plant plants. There's like a certain number of spots you can plant plants. You get more places to recruit the little dice that you need. It's a cool little game. It actually has, it's one of the few sciencey style games that's actually really, really, really good. Really good.
Hawkskull says that it's actually gnomes. The G is silent.
Gnomes? You recruit little gnomes? This little gnome makes my plant tall.
Do you like pea plants?
That's a good one.
If not, you will after this game.
It's a good one, and for 2 players, we knocked this out in under an hour. It's a little zippy little game. It's got a lot of good choices.
Zeris was asking about how it plays 2-player.
Works just fine.
I think it works just fine. I feel like it's just as busy.
It's a little more open.
It's a little more
They don't
open.
restrict the board much, as far as I recall. You have less cards to pick from when you're getting plants, like basically getting your contracts. There's less cards to pick from, and there's less cards to pick from with those. They're called tools. Those are your like one-shot powers.
Right.
There's less to pick from as far as that goes. But as far as drafting the dice, I think you may also have less dice. I can't recall. But no, it feels more open to me, 2 players.
I feel like you get to do some of the things you want to do. So the scores may be a tad higher just because, but I feel like it's still very competitive. You're still battling it out for stuff, and it's fun multiplayer too. It's just a lot tighter.
Yeah. And it takes a little bit longer because it's probably
much though.
It's not 10-15 minutes extra per player.
Not much. I like it at both player counts. I can't even say I really prefer either one. Honestly, it's not good. It's pretty balanced.
I'd say it's exactly the same. I wouldn't rate one higher over the other.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have any weird variants or anything at 2-player where you're like, ugh, you know, it doesn't
have less to pick from.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So
and you always can it's ticket or ride. You always take randoms off the top if you don't like what's out there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm liking this a lot. Like really, really like this game. It's good. This is another one that I would play pretty much right now. Right after Creature Comforts.
All right, where am I?
I don't know. Lost. Clearly.
I'm lost.
Somewhere in the land
in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea.
Oh, goodness.
Looking for the Oracle of Delphi.
What a segue. Wow.
That was genius.
Oh,
genius.
totally.
Another segue.
Okay, anyway, I'm better now. That was
Gino
stop. Just no.
Oracle of Delphi. Once upon a time, it was my favorite Feldian game.
Once upon a time. Did you hear that? It's all past tense now. Now he's like, I hate this game.
No, I don't hate it. I just like Amerigo better, so.
I'll allow it.
There you go. If you like Amerigo, it's your favorite too. Anyway, Oracle of Delphi. This is the, what does it say, the redheaded stepchild? Am I allowed to say that? Redheaded stepchild of the Feld game.
You said it, whether it's allowed or not. Here we go.
Because,
I apologize to redheaded people.
No, anyway.
Keep going.
Anyway.
Dig. I mean, talk, honey.
This one is very unique in terms of Felds. Most Feld games are point salads where you do like 17,000 different things and you get points for doing it and you add up all your points to the end and whoever's the most points wins. This is not that kind of game. This is basically a racing game.
It's a race.
You're running around all over the Mediterranean.
Really?
Doing different tasks and what do they call it? Labors? What do they call those?
That's the labors of Hercules. Don't even.
That's the same thing.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
You're going all over the Mediterranean doing these different tasks. You have 12 tasks you have to complete. And the first one to complete those and goes back to Zeus wins the game. So it's very much a race in terms of, it's not a race in terms of like getting to a location, but it's a race to complete.
Kind of. It has been a race before.
Well, yeah.
It has been a race to the finish before. We have come very close.
And you're doing, it's basicly it's got exploration to it because you have to find certain locations.
Fight.
It's got a little bit of dice rolling, which most Feld people despise dice rolling. So, like I said, it's very, very different than most Feld games. That's why it was my favorite at one point because it felt unique. A lot of the other ones kind of blurred together in terms of point saladiness. This one kind of stood out, just like Amerigo kind of stands out because it's got the dice, the cube tower, and some weird stuff too.
Zeus just said, "Hey, wait, this isn't about being a database expert." Oracle.
Oh.
I got you, Zeus. You out of the computer nerd land?
Unfond memories of the Oracle.
I was about to say.
System.
I was going to say. I thought you'd be like, "Oh yeah, Oracle." You know.
Yeah, no, I did not like the Oracle system.
He brought back his PTSD. Sarah, that's what you do.
Anyway,
that's funny.
It's a good one. I enjoy this one a lot. Yeah, fun. It's a good one.
It is. It's really good. And it's nice because it's different.
That's what I'm saying. If you want a unique Feld, this is definitely one of them.
Yep. Oracle. I liked that. That was funny.
All right, where am I?
The Egyptians are.
Let's move on to a new game. We've never talked about this game before.
We haven't.
Because it is new. It came in since last we spoke, and we immediately played it, along with another game we're going to talk about shortly.
Like, it came in, and we unpacked it and played it on the spot immediately.
Not quite that, but the next day.
Close enough for us.
And that is Core Worlds Empires. So it's another 9. Another one I rate a 9. This one feels like Core Worlds, but then it really doesn't feel like Core Worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
It will seem familiar if you played Core Worlds, but it's got a lot of other things going on. It's like if Core Worlds and a 4X game
duked it out.
Hung out together. They not duked it out. They hung out together. They merged like the fly and like the dude in the fly. They merged together. Core Worlds Empires. So this is basically a pseudo 4X game-ish. So it's still got the deck building from Core Worlds. It's still got the faction stuff in Core Worlds. It's got the units where you got like ground troops and space troops.
Space troops, yep.
Same kind of stuff, but you actually take that and add that to a board aspect where you're actually going out and you're conquering planets. You're actually fighting other players. You're fighting to take over planets.
There's just a lot of fighting. Very aggressive.
It's very aggressive. I want to play this more, but it's going to be even crazier and more aggressive with more players.
This is a game that, as we were playing it, I kind of looked at him and said, I don't think I want to play this with more than 3 players because I feel like this game will drag.
And there'll be a lot of combat.
Yeah.
We fought several times, but then you add another player.
I never played the game. Oh, I'm kidding. What?
Hey,
you can't have all the jokes, okay?
I am the joke.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would not say one replaces or has anything really to do with the other in terms of type. Core Worlds, the original game, is very much a deck builder with a slight attackiness in terms of taking over planets. You use your deck to take over planets. The players don't interact with each other than trying to maybe vying for the same cards. Core Worlds is in your face, you're fighting people, and you're actually, doing combat and stuff.
Right.
You're actually playing combat cards and fighting each other and all that sort of stuff. What I found cool about the game, I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure how much Rebecca enjoyed it, but she'll let you know. I really enjoyed it because we played the game completely different.
We did.
Completely different.
Oh, boy.
I was all about getting heroes and building up a bunch of different guys and things. She was very much, I don't even know what she was doing. She was doing something different.
So many things.
I don't remember what you did. What'd you do?
I just totally was like, heroes seem like a slower way to go. And so I worked on building up some troop combos and stuff.
That's right. You had some good combos with
crazy combo thing going.
So we played the game completely different.
We did.
And we finished the game like within a few points of each other. It was like really,
which is crazy cool.
Really close.
I don't like this as much as you, and I think it's because of the aggressiveness. I think that's really it. And
the 2-player has that weird, weird third-person thing going on. So I'd rather play this. 3 is where I want to play this game. I want to try it at 3, and 3 will probably be the sweet spot for this game.
Yeah,
2 was just fine. It was just fine.
It was fine, but yeah, like you said,
I 9 out of 2. It's a 3.
Although Corley says on your new scale that must be barely okay for the rest of them.
And
that was funny. You started that. I thought
Canadians were supposed to be polite.
They're nice. You goaded them. How badly goaded have they been to go to this point? I'm just saying.
I guess.
That.
Anyway, I love the game. Rebecca thought it was okay from what I can see. It was okay for her. I love this game.
I think with more plays, it'll probably grow on me too. I think part of it too is I really love Core Worlds, and I was hoping at its heart it would stick closer to that than it did. I don't know what I expected, but this wasn't quite how I expected it. I think that's part of it.
I like it better than Core
I'm not surprised by that. Why are we whispering?
Cold Empire is a new game. We just got it in the
But
last
it's
week or
pretty.
so.
It's pretty, guys. It's pretty.
Pardon me while I get a drink of a
You're not allowed to be hydrated. How dare you?
beverage.
How dare you?
All right, let's move on to my number 2. This is my favorite Lacerda game, but caveat: the teach was wonky, and the volume of the room.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Towards the end got out of that. Literally story time.
Literally.
That is the loudest gaming experience I've ever had in my entire life.
It's pretty close.
That is the loudest gaming experience I've ever had in my entire life. So we met up at Madness, me, Rebecca,
The name was appropriate.
and the infamous
should've known.
Tommy. And me and Tommy played a couple of crappy games early on, and then Rebecca showed up. And I kind of rushed the teach of On Mars because I was wanting to play a good game.
Yeah,
So-
you both by then were like ready for a game. It was so funny.
when we got there we got there when it opened, and it was super quiet, like crickets all day. Rebecca showed up, low murmurs around the room. By the time we finished this game, we had to scream to communicate to each other.
It was loud.
It was insanely loud. I will never go up there on a Saturday night to play games ever again.
Yeah.
It was,
And it's not that big of a gaming facility. I mean, conventions are way quieter. And that's terrifying.
Me and Rebecca were sitting this close together. I had to actually yell
Yeah. I
for
did
her
too.
to hear me. Hey, I want to use your technology.
Yes.
It was, anyway, talking about On Mars.
It was interesting, Tommy. This game, though, such a good game. And it's okay that you had a wonky... It's not. It's okay that you had a wonky teach. Everybody has those. This is a heavy monster of a game to teach. So
Yeah.
teaching that with massive distractions is still, madly impressive. Mad props to you. I would have been like, cool, learn. I'll meet you back later.
But I will say this about this particular play. I'm not talking about the game. The game is amazing. It's my favorite Lacerda. It's not her favorite. It's my favorite Lacerda.
One, though. It's up there.
Lacerdas are so thematic. I really love how this game plays. I will say this, though. Towards the end of the game, I was just making plays to get the game over.
I think everybody was at that point,
That's
right?
how loud it was. It was just. It
No,
was,
you said it was a wonky teach, Tommy, not that it was a wonky game.
no, the wonky teach. I missed a couple of rules that I kind of figured out like after a few turns.
That's okay. It wasn't.
Anyway, yeah, it was I love the game. I wish I almost want to play this again like soon just to get to play it, because at the end I'm like, what game is optimal for making the end game condition sooner?
And I'll be honest, because you're like, it's not your favorite game, but with each play, it has grown on me more and more. Like, I like it more, despite the non-optimal like play with this and stuff, that this was, it's like some of it clicked better for me this time around a little bit, and I got to try some different things I didn't get to play before. And
Yeah, you went on heavy technology this time.
I did, and I liked it. It was fun. Just the way that you bounce back and forth, because you have a ship that's kind of shuttling back and forth between space station out there, and then the planet itself, and you can do certain things when you're out in space, then you can do certain things when you're on Mars. Obviously, right? It's thematic. And just the play back and forth going with that, planning when you're going to have your workers, because you only get your workers back on that section that you're going to. So you have to divide up your workers and make sure that you're not out of workers when you go to one section or another.
Right.
It's really a tricky little balance that you get to play. And it's just super fun. And sometimes for a while you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the station. There's nothing for me to do. But then something else unlocks, or in the middle of the game, everything replenishes. So all of a sudden the space station has a whole bunch of supplies and stuff again. You're like, I need to go back out to the station. I need to spend some time out there. It's fun because it's not static on your strategy. You're going to be changing all the time what you want to do. And I love it. And it was fun to play at 3-player finally. Really liked that part of it too. Yeah. Really liked the 3-player balance. Sometimes we play these so much 2-player that I'm like, am I going to like it with more players? Yes, big time. 3 players is really fun. Really like it.
Yeah, I like that. That's probably one of my, I think, the most interesting aspects. One of the interesting aspects of the game is that you use the workers. It's kind of like viticulture. If you play viticulture, you have the different seasons, and you have to allocate your workers.
Yeah, it's real similar to that.
So basically, yeah, if you do a bunch of actions in space, and then you go down to the planet, you have no workers left. So you really think, oh gosh, I want to do. There's couple things I want to do when I get to the planet, so I need to make sure I save 2 or 3 of my workers to be able to do that, going back and forth, back and forth. And if you don't follow the ship back, you don't reset, so you could eventually end up putting all your workers in one place and then have nothing. You have to go up and then immediately come back to reset your workers. So
that's true.
It's a cool game.
And it's pretty.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, the Eagle Griffin productions are off the charts for the Lucerda games. On Mars.
Happy Salmon Tournament Day. I wish at least it would only be loud and like bursts.
Oh my gosh.
It was just a constant like scream.
I could just rant for hours because
Hawk School, you remember after the Dice Tower cruise and how loud it was in that room? Imagine that, but at a constant, not just every once in a while the guy's yelling. It's
like that dude screaming on the microphone the whole time.
It's like that.
And then you have the groups that they were all together talking and they had to scream to talk. And then to show that they were excited about something,
They got louder.
They literally had to yell like at the top of their lungs.
So when you're trying to do science and terraform a planet or whatever we were doing,
it was very suboptimal working conditions.
These were not the best working conditions for Mars. I'm just saying.
And let's move on to my
good times. Such a good game though.
Uno. Another new game. Guess what? Perfect 10. Dun dun dun.
Jazz hands.
Perfect 10.
Jazz hands.
Probably it could be a top 10 game for me. What? It's that good.
Neon lights.
And that is Dead Reckoning.
This is a top one for me too.
So good.
Oh, spoilers.
Our lights got moved. I just noticed that.
Yeah, they did. It's all good.
I'm kind of in the shadows.
Ooh, sneaky.
I'm in the shadows.
Like a pirate. A filthy pirate.
Our light up there the cat must have bumped it or something.
Oh yeah, he did. Maybe that was what made that crash earlier. Our cat's making psychotic maneuvers.
That light's fine. That light's pointing the wrong way. Anyway, Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning is
not live reckoning.
This has killed
Merchants and Marauders?
Merchants and Marauders for me.
No! Say it isn't so!
I love Merchant and Marauders. It's one of my favorite games. I don't know if I'll ever play it again because of this game. Sad times.
It is true. It is true, y'all.
As Tommy said, side note, I got a Merchants and Marauders game for sale. Dead Reckoning, super awesome pirate theme game. It's use card crafting like in Mystic Vale, where you start out with a hand of cards, 12 crew members, and they have very basic skills. And as time goes by, you go out and explore the islands around the area, and you can purchase cards, and you take those cards and you basically improve the powers of your crew. You can choose how to do that. You can make some crazy powerful crew guys. You can kind of spread your abilities across your entire crew. You can focus in on fighting, you can focus in on exploration, you can focus in on influencing islands. So good.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
So good.
Yeah. This is so much fun because they took that. You guys know I'm a sucker for Mystic Vale, and it took that card crafting and then put this pirate theme with it. And it is so much fun to like battle and do stuff in this game. And exploring is fun. It's got Scythe-like missions that you basically put, like, you know how in Scythe you accomplish a certain goal and you get to put your little star over there? They do the same thing. You got a little pirate map thing you put down when you accomplish certain goals, and that triggers the end game when you have a certain amount up there. It's very Scythe-like in that, which I've always loved that mechanism
like
in Scythe.
So you have to go for them.
You have like that Scythe-like achievements. You've got the card crafting. You've got this cool exploration. It's just...
The combat's a cube tower.
It's my gosh. It's hilarious because you dump it down, and in the tray in the bottom, it's got these little regions, and I love it. It's like better than dice rolling. It's totally up to chance still.
And you think it's so random, you'd be like, I hate it, but it's so much fun. It is so much, because you can get superpowers to basically re-roll some of the cubes, and Yeah, some of the cubes give you damage to the ship. Some cubes decide who wins. Some cubes give you loot. So basically, you're pillaging the other player.
Yeah.
If you're not pillaging the other player, you take it from the supply. So you're not really hurting the other player.
But you get damage. You could die. You could lose your ship.
I'm the only one that got even close to dying, and I didn't die.
That was actually funny because it wasn't most of the damage from an NPC ship.
Yeah, I was fighting merchant ships.
I was like, darn it. I stunk it up.
This game is
so much fun.
awesome. This is one of my new favorites. It's the one.
It's so good. I
probably want to play this the most right now, and we just played it.
Yeah, no, seriously, and totally just went just the way things go. Oh, the purchasing of the cards too.
Yeah.
So you explore everything, and once you do, a lot of the areas will flip. You have more card crafting cards that come out on the different islands. So part of your movement, you might want to strategically try to go out and get a specific kind of card,
right.
But you may have to fight through another ship to do it. Like, the choices in this are so good.
And the best cards are further away from you. So
yeah,
you have to go back to port. If you do the merchant thing, you're basically bouncing between port and going out and back and forth. But to get the really good cards, you have to go way out the far side of the map, and you're foregoing doing merchanting to get a better card. So there's some strategery there.
Now, is it Merchants and Marauders or Jamaica where you have to have your coins in the chest to count?
Merchants and Marauders.
It was Merchants and Marauders? Okay. So it has that aspect of Merchants and Marauders too, where your coins towards your victory, or one of the victory conditions, is how many coins you have.
That's one of the achievements.
Like, achievements, that's what it is.
Achievements is having a certain number of coins.
You have to have a certain number of coins in there, so you always are coming back. You want to plan when you come back to port, because you don't want to float around and have a ship full of coins, because let me tell you, speaking from experience, his ship looked really good a few times, and I actually started to fly towards him. He's like, oh, I'm going back to port.
I'm like, oh my gosh,
coming for him.
She's like buying cannons. She's buying all these cannons. I'm like, oh, I gotta get back to port.
It was so much fun. And yeah, and your player board is your ship, and so you can add and buy accessories for your ship, I guess, and it's going to be either extra storage. You can put on there little slabs of cardboard that give you extra things, or extra cannon, or extra sails so you can move around faster. In fact, you had a ridiculous sail thing going on. Hunter's like, I could move 8, and it's like all over the place.
I was doing merchanting stuff, so I was getting lots of movement.
Meanwhile, I had like 47 cannon. I was just itching for a fight, and you like hid from me every time.
Yeah, when you're in port, it's harder to attack another player. So,
which is also a strategic thing to do too.
Right.
But eventually you do want to get out.
You put your cells up on one of my islands to try to prevent me from picking stuff up. I figured you'd do that sooner or later.
At the very beginning of the game, I sniped an island from you.
You did, but you can set on my juicy merchant islands and put your sails
but then
up.
You went and put one of the little fortresses there. I didn't want to fight your stupid fortress at the time. I didn't have my cannons built up yet. Yeah, he went in and he sniped one of my puny islands I just colonized. And then he built one of his fortresses on it. So I'm like, now I have to fight a fortress before I can go back to my island.
It wasn't your island.
Oh, man.
It's my island.
It's just my island.
So needless to say, we love this game.
So good.
On top of that.
Yes, the tacky table.
No, leave it here. Since it's a new game, we have expansions that we haven't played with.
Oh, I cannot wait.
This little mini expansion that gives you unique cards. So basically, the starting decks for each players are the same until you start crafting them and putting cards in. This one gives you unique starting cards, which is cool. The Sea Dogs expansion.
That's going to be fun. It's starting out with something different.
And then we got 2 kind of campaign legacy style expansions.
I think one of you was talking about that in the chat already
in the
too.
Wrong order? I do.
I'm excited. I'm excited about those too.
So I think you play a few games. I don't know how many it is, and you get new content revealed for the game.
Salt and Thunder. As soon as I saw that, all I could think of is the next Thor movie. Salt and Thunder.
Salt and Thunder.
Isn't it Love and Thunder or something? I don't know. Anyway,
this is we're excited. I mean, normally I would be like, oh, campaign stuff. I'm like, no.
This is so
I want
good.
to play these now.
What's great is if these suck, we don't care. Because we'll just come back to playing the base game,
it'll add
and
new
we're
content
happy.
to the game.
And it will. And
2 hidden content boxes. What?
Yeah, you have to do Saga 1 to do Saga 2. Says so on the box. Okay, there you go. See, it tells you. We'll follow instructions. Don't worry, Joker. We'll keep him in line.
You must have both the first expansion and the base game.
There you go.
Well, I better play them in order then.
So many envelopes. Ooh.
I'm excited about it. I am extremely excited about these.
This is probably, actually, no, probably, this is my top game so far this year.
Oh, not even close. Not even close.
And I love Creature Comforts, okay?
Not even close.
I love Creature Comforts, but this
There's only one game that may challenge this for Game of the Year, and it has to come out this year for it to challenge it.
You gonna give spoilers?
Weather Machine from Vital Lacerda.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But I think this is going to beat that. Scary.
Nah.
Well, there you go. There is what we played and our new stuff. New stuff was Dead Reckoning, Creature Comforts, and Core Worlds Empires.
You are a Chatty McChatterson. I wonder why. Because it was such an awesome game. Seriously, those of you that are waiting for that game to show up or whatever to play it, I think you're really going to like it. It just seems like a really well-rounded keeper of a game. This is like here to stay, like Merchants and Marauders was for a long time. I really feel that.
Yeah, we usually don't go this long for 8 games, but there was so many new games.
Ooh, Dark Tower game. Ooh,
I want to play Dark Tower at con. I don't want to.
Yes.
I don't want to buy it. I want to play it at con though.
I do want to play that. Yeah,
I'm there.
We need to play Dark Tower. I want to play it as well.
Maybe we'll play it at Dice Tower East.
Ooh, let's do it.
All right, I think that's it. I need to move on to something else. I don't think I want to do because I'll.
Oh, but I have such a good set of games.
Is my energy high enough for it?
We'll take it easy on you. I won't make you do extra things this time. Like last time, I made you do like theme songs and stuff.
Fine. I feel like I'm like the dog and pony show up in here or something.
You're just, hey, you are the talent. Let's face it.
No.
You're the talent.
You're the talent. I'm the tech.
I don't know. I am just here. I am not.
Here we go. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you'll find out.
Here it comes. Hunter's like, I'm tired.
Big drink of water.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right. So wonderful, wonderful viewers, wonderful humans. What we're going to be doing is have Hunter rank some games. I have randomly selected. Actually, I didn't randomly select. I had a randomizer selected the games for me. They're a doozy tonight. So we need a category, a reason to rank something. It doesn't even have to be board games. That's the beauty of it. Rank by the scariest pirate the game would be. Corlu, you're scaring me. I'm not sure what you're going on. Ooh, shiver me timbers. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta check that.
Rank them by how tired they make you. Lead actor in a prestige TV show. Ooh, that's true, Arc Nova. I want to play Arc Nova. That could compete. How easy to play in a loud room. That's funny. I like that.
That's very appropriate.
If the game was a... Oh, I got you, Corlu. If the game was a pirate, how scary of a pirate would be?
I don't think any game's easy to play in a loud room. I don't think any game.
You guys were talking about Happy Salmon.
When the volume gets to a certain level, my concentration goes out the window. So, just saying.
I think... A lead actor in a TV show? I'm going to twist Xeris's a little bit. Would you want to live next door to this game if it was your neighbor? All right, that one's got me. That one's got me.
Would you want to live next door to this game?
If it was your neighbor.
If it was your neighbor. If it was your neighbor, you don't have a choice to live next door to him.
Well, no. You could have a choice. It's maybe like a dorm or something. You're like, next year I'm not living next to these people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, gosh. I love what the first game is.
While I'm doing this, can you aim that light towards...
Yes, I can. It's driving you crazy,
It is driving me crazy. I only got light coming from this side.
I know, and it kind of makes me squinty-eyed.
Like this side's in the light, and this side's like not in the dark.
Blinded by the light.
All right.
How's that? Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Survive space attack.
I'm not a tech guy.
I'm not sure why I'm living next to this. Okay, so I'm living in outer space, and the space station's falling apart. So I already got problems.
It's true, though. It's true, though.
But my next door neighbor is space creatures.
They're attacking.
That are attacking me. Let's see what kind of space creatures we got. I can't remember. It's been a while since we played this. We got, let's see. Those are spaceships and things. There we go. We got space creatures right here. We got little arrow-looking dudes. Got arrow guys.
Oh yeah, the big aliens.
They're like octopods or something.
Those are like the sea creatures, I think. Because they go.
Are they spawns or warriors? Are called spawns and warriors.
Oh gosh, I don't remember the name.
It's a warrior. You got little octopod warrior guys.
Do you want him to be your neighbor?
Let me tell you this, that I've never met an octopod I'd want to live next door to.
I have questions.
Then you got these little spawn guys, and what do they look like? They're little octopod looking things too. Yeah, no. And then where's the queen? Where's the queen?
The queen?
Oh, there's the sea serpent.
Oh, I thought you already got that one out. I'm crazy.
Got these guys too.
Oh yeah, those. Okay. Excuse me. Gosh, guys, sorry. Good grief.
Rebecca's falling asleep over here.
I am. It's been
so needless to say, because you know, octopod. Have you ever watched an octopod? They can like crawl through like a thin little crack.
So you're saying you have nosy neighbors? Rule book.
It's because, you know, like they come knocking on your neighbor. You don't like comes knocking on your door. You just ignore them.
Octo Dad seemed nice enough.
You just ignore that neighbor that's knocking on your door. Like, hey, they like want to borrow or something or something. If you don't answer the door, they're just gonna ooze their way under your door.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Why you
putting the bottom of my door? Oh yeah. Where are you ranking this? Where are you ranking
Well, it's in first place, of course.
As your best neighbor? That's terrifying. Shouldn't you put it in last place?
I thought it was the worst neighbor. We're doing it by worst to best.
Sure, it's up to you.
But it doesn't matter. It's in first place regardless.
Okay.
It's the worst neighbor, and that is definitely the worst neighbor. It's also the best neighbor right now.
Okay. Oh, we got another good one. Spyfall.
So here's what we're gonna do for Spyfall. If you don't know what this game is a social deduction game where you're in a location, and one person doesn't know where everyone is, and they're trying to guess. We're gonna randomly select a location, and randomly select one of the cards, and that will be my neighbor.
Should be my neighbor. Should be my neighbor. Maybe. I'm beginning to think that won't happen.
Something happened.
Something.
All right, here we go. We're gonna randomly pick a deck of cards.
Okay.
And we're randomly gonna select one of the roles. All right.
Oh dear, this is
so
great.
My neighbor,
I like this.
My neighbor.
I like this.
My neighbor is located in.
But what if you're the spy?
My neighbor is located in the hospital. So my neighbor is a patient. A hospital patient. So apparently I'm in the hospital.
No, maybe you could be next door to the hospital.
And there's a random patient wandering around out of the hospital?
Next door to you. You're in an outpatient clinic.
This patient, you probably can't see this picture. He looks creepy.
Let me see.
Look at this guy.
Well, he is dressed up like a spy. I think the other dude's
the other guy's a patient.
Is the actual patient.
He looks hangry.
Well, have you eaten hospital food? You probably would be too. They're like, here's some Jello.
So I have an angry patient living next door to me.
I say get well soon.
So the patient looked like it had like a broken leg, and it was in traction, and I would feel sympathy for this person. So I would not feel bad that he was living next door to me.
Carlo has a good theory.
What?
This is the neighbors on one side, and this is the neighbor on the other side, and they apparently met, and that guy is in the hospital now.
Oh, the octopod got a hold of the dude in the hospital. Now I feel bad for him.
See?
So he's definitely better than octopods.
I think we do have an all-spy pack in here, don't we?
Yes.
We have made one in there, yes, Kabuki. All right, so next up.
I think that was a promo. Coca-Cola! Now let me tell you this. Let me speak to this a little bit.
Would you like to have a musician?
Let me speak to this. Native Americans are cool. Let me just say that they're cool.
Straight up,
they're cool because they.
And this art is amazing. One of my favorites.
They make. So we live in Texas, and just north of us is like all kinds of Indian reservations, and I tend to frequent their casinos. But they at the casinos they sell all this awesome Native American art, beautiful, and they do Native American performances, which are awesome as well. So I love it, and I have a little lineage with Native Americans as well. So yeah.
Is it from this region though?
No,
Southwest?
No. It's mostly Texas and this area, Oklahoma, this area.
Okay.
Yeah. So sign me up.
You're like a good neighbor now.
Sign me up. This is in far last place because
it's the best neighbor.
And plus they have these little horns that they're playing. Wait a second.
No. It's not a horn. It's those little like pan flute things. They're really cool. Do you not know?
Are they loud? Are they gonna keep me awake?
Well, it depends on when they're playing. Have you not heard that music? Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna assume they're not gonna play these horns at odd hours.
They're sensible. I'm just saying. It looks like it's daylight on this. Does that not? It doesn't look like the middle of the night. That looks like broad daylight.
Last place currently. The Cocapelli can live next to me. As long as they're not doing their wild flute parties at all hours.
Flute parties. Oh my gosh. Yes, clearly. Okay.
Wild flute parties.
Oh yes. This one.
Okay. So you know what's worse than an octopod? You can't even see me here.
I know. This is funny.
You know what's worse than an octopod slamming under your door? Probably not worse, but I had to do a segue here. It's some dude climbing on your roof. Can you imagine? You're sitting at home. You're watching some TV. Probably some like How Ridiculous. That's a great show. I watched How Ridiculous and things like that. And you hear footsteps on your roof.
I don't know how you hear anything because How Ridiculous is kind of loud. But footsteps on your roof would be a bit disturbing.
You hear footsteps on your roof, like, what, is it Santa Claus? No, it's the Rhino Hero climbing my roof. What? Point of order. What would you do?
That's a point of inquiry.
That's true.
You're welcome.
What would you do if you were sitting home one evening, enjoying your dinner or watching TV, and your neighbor's on your roof?
I would start chucking things at them. And you're right, HOA needs to have some standards. There you go. You guys are writing the check.
What would you do? I don't know how I would react to that.
I'd go out there and be like, hey! That's what I'd do.
Would you?
Yes. If my neighbors
went out
there?
I would crawl under the table and call the cops.
Would you?
Because they got to be crazy. Got a cape on, climbing your roof, thinking he's a superhero.
You know what? I changed my ideas. I'm going to film it and make my millions. And then call the cops.
So I'm at a quandary here because I don't know which is worse. The neighbors slithering under your door or climbing on your roof. I really don't know which is worse.
Well, they're at least outside.
That's true.
Although the roof's expensive to replace. Maybe speaking from personal experience. And then that's the spy fault. The spies just don't have a prayer.
I agree with you. Slithering under the door is slightly worse than climbing on your roof.
And y'all know that B&Es are not good for survival rates in Texas. I'm just saying. So
slithering
these guys
under your door.
Probably gonna die. All right.
Rhino Hero doesn't stay shut.
No, it doesn't.
It's spill everywhere.
It's gonna be so exciting. You're no fun. Where's your sense of chaos? Actually, it's not that bad.
We'll put it sideways like this.
Lame. All right. So next, oh yes, another great neighbor.
I already got one of these neighbors living next to me.
Oh my gosh, we do.
I have the clanky neighbor
Clank.
living next to me.
We'll name him Clank now. I like that.
Because you have that neighbor that just has
the gearhead neighbor
that just has to make noise. They have every power tool that's sold at Lowe's. And they have to use it all day, every day, even into the wee hours of the night. We got air pumps going on. We got band saws. We got weed eaters. We got, I don't know what all is going on, generators. We got like rocketry going on.
No, there's no rocketry going on.
That noisy neighbor
Is Clank.
is Clank. That noisy neighbor. They won't shut up. You bang on the ceiling with your broomstick. Shut up.
That's in the apartments, though.
Yeah, but you could be living in an apartment.
That's true.
That noisy neighbor is horrible. I can understand, like if they got to do something, like they got to air up their tires, or they need to like hammer a few nails, but not all day, every day. There's not that much stuff going on over there.
And on the next episode of Hunter's Soapbox,
noisy neighbor.
Yep. Dirigible track. What? That's exciting.
I almost would prefer the guy climb on my climb on my roof.
That's true. At least he's not taking the power tools onto your roof with a cape on.
I'd be okay with climbing on my roof. It's a one time, maybe once a month. He gets a little crazy. Full moon, he climbs up on my roof.
I don't think you'd think that if that actually happened. I'm just saying.
But constantly making noise the whole time is horrible.
You have a thing with noise lately.
Second place.
He's getting into the "you kids get off my lawn" stage.
Second place.
I'm right. I'm right.
We got. Yeah. We'll recap in a moment because we got two more to do.
Okay.
You have that noisy neighbor? I want to commiserate.
It's cute. It's quiet. He's a quiet little
Do
feet.
you have that neighbor that gets a little too close, that wants to like, hey friend, let's be friends. This is what happy salmon is. That neighbor, that clingy neighbor that wants to invite you over for random food. And
You're very antisocial.
Yes, I am.
You're the curmudgeon of the street, aren't you?
I am the curmudgeon of the street. I'm that neighbor you don't even know
Don't talk to me.
that you don't even know exists.
We have the hermit.
You got the guy that lives across the street. I don't even know who he is. That's me. This is that neighbor that is like, we're having a book club this afternoon at 3 p.m. We would love for you to join. Please bring a refurbishment. Happy salmon is that clingy neighbor. Clingy neighbor is what happy salmon is.
That's just a polite neighbor. That's not a clingy neighbor. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just curious.
Happy salmon is that clingy neighbor that
Don't invite Hunter to a book club, whatever you do, okay? We all know what'll happen.
in private. I don't want to tell you about my books.
Refurbishment, I know.
I've always called it refurbishment. So I think it's one of my words. I have words, puntation.
This is why my students all want you to come visit, because they want to hear you say these things instead of me saying, yes, he calls it that. I'm just saying.
And it's just the clingy neighbor. That's what happy salmon is.
Look at this face. Why is he so hateful to this?
Because you're like clapping hands and fist bumping and hugging and all other stuff in the happy
And you're
salmon.
like, don't get in my personal bubble.
Yes.
Get off my lawn.
My circle does not overlap with your circle.
But I play board games. I'm social.
Now, if they invite me to board game club, I'm there.
Oh my lord. Anyway.
Happy salmon. Not too bad. Like she said, there's a fine line between politeness and overwhelming.
Apparently that
Happy
line
salmon
is not
goes beyond that. It's in the overwhelming stage. But it's definitely not worse than oozy neighbor and loud neighbor and climbing on my roof neighbor. But
our neighborhood's gotten really wacky lately. I'm just saying.
Is it better than patient? It's better than patient neighbor. No. Yeah. Better than patient. Nope. Right here.
Wait. He's a better neighbor to you or a worse neighbor?
Worse neighbor.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's better.
Than the patient neighbor.
Okay. Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders.
That is perfect. That is perfect. Okie dokie. And I've determined that the patient neighbor is a hypochondriac. That always tells you every time you meet, they talk about their
I get me.
yeah, all their problems. Oh, my ankle's hurting today. Oh man, I had the worst headache last night. That's what this neighbor is. This neighbor, great neighbor, not so great, getting worse.
And you've had a rough.
Last one. Let's do this. Oh dear. You know what this is?
Pinky in the brain.
I figured out what this dominations is.
Nachos?
I'm just going with
Doritos.
I'm going with the first thing that popped in my head. You have that neighbor that has a business, a local business. You know that they're like their own little personal Etsy or their personal like perfume or their what's that called where they sell
Mary Kay.
Yeah, Mary. What about when they sell kitchen stuff? What's that called?
The chef one. All I can think of is Iron Chef. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, they have their own little personal business, and they're always pushing you to buy their crap. That's what this neighbor is. You have like a Facebook HOA Facebook
Hunter doesn't
page.
even know anymore because he just like dissociates from all society in general. He's like, someone's knocking on the door.
I tell you, this is that neighbor that has a business that wants you to buy their crap.
Pampered Chef, that's the one.
Pampered Chef. Yes. This is what that neighbor is. It's the want to sell you crap neighbor.
Seriously, can I tell you about my triomino scheme?
I just started my home business and I make little cloth things. You should try one out and all your friends too.
Why not? Might be cool.
No.
If he's there, just don't even knock. Just wait till I'm home.
That's what this neighbor is. The pushy, buy my crap neighbor. So we got
some interesting neighbors.
Uzi. We can't even see it anymore. You messed up.
I'm sorry.
Look at the screen. We have to see the.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Here you go. There you go. So we have Uzi neighbor.
Uzi neighbor, not as good as, not worse than pushy neighbor.
Okay.
Loud neighbor, worse than pushy neighbor.
Yep.
Climbing on my roof neighbor.
Yep.
Worse than pushy neighbor.
Yep.
Ned Flanders, better than pushy neighbor. So it's right in the right spot. There we go. That's 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
You only had one nice neighbor. And that's only because I told you they played musical instruments in the daytime.
This one's iffy. If they're playing their flutes at midnight, anyway.
Wait, how did you? I don't think he had any.
Let's recap.
In college.
We got your ooze under your door neighbor. You try to avoid them, but they ooze under your door. We've got a loud, obnoxious, power tool running at all hours neighbor. We got Rebecca.
Amway.
She's fine. We'll put her down this way somewhere. Anyway, then we got the climb on your roof insane neighbor. There's a full moon and he's up on your roof. Then we got your pushy buy my Etsy crap neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
And then we got Ned Flanders, the too nice, in your face, always bothering you neighbor.
The social neighbor.
Then we got the patient, the hypochondriac, that complains about his ill thing all the time.
Ill thing.
like my ill leg and my ill.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing to me. This is just.
And last but not least, we have the wonderful Native American neighbors, but they suspiciously have those flutes. And I'm wary.
They don't play them after hours.
I'm wary of the flutes.
Oh my gosh!
What are they called? What are the little flutes called?
I forgot what they're called.
Is that the Kokopelli? Is that their flute name? Is that
no, the Kokopelli is the name of the deity. That
I don't know anything about this.
Oh my gosh! My parents have a full CD of that.
That is the rankings of the neighbors.
Guys, there you go. We need to do one of those BuzzFeed quizzes now. What kind of neighbor are you, according to Hunter Thomas? That would be pretty awesome.
Some guy go that way.
You need to do a poll. Now you need to do a poll on BGG of what kind of neighbor.
I'm actually going to write that down. What kind of neighbor are you? I'm going to do that. What kind of neighbor are you poll? What kind of neighbor are you? And I'm going to write all 7 choices.
Okay.
I'll have to trick up the Native American, the musician. That's what it is.
Okay.
It'll be the musician.
The musician. Musicians are the best.
That's it. We're done.
Just saying.
We're done.
Although you hate it when I tune.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you hate that so much?
So Rebecca's music is wonderful. I love it. I think it's amazing. It's very soothing. It's very enjoyable. She's got this electronic tuner thing.
I have to tune the instrument. I don't have.
So everyone has that sound. That sound they hear that makes their skin crawl.
I have to like tune the closet.
Some people it's the chalkboard scratchy. Some people it's like weird cloth rubbing together. Some people it's babies crying. Some people it's people playing flutes at 3 a.m. Mine is that machine. I swear I could be doing anything. That thing comes on, I instantly want to start like killing things. Like it just.
Maybe that's it. You're actually a super secret agent. We just didn't know it, and that's like your trigger.
That's my code word to trigger me.
I was like destroying things, and I'm like, what just happened?
That sound, I don't know what it is. It splits. It's like a horror movie where your skin splits and your brain gets exposed. That sound, I don't know what it's got. It must have just the perfect tone that resonates with my angry part of my brain. Anyway, I've spoken.
I have spoken. This was your episode 47 of Hunter's Soapbox.
All right,
Vuvuzelas. Yes, the Cocopelli is
no, it's not a vuvuzela. All right, fine. Let's see if it say what it is.
No, it's not a vuvuzela. That's like an African instrument, I want to say.
Does it actually say what it is?
It should well, I may not say it in the game, but my brain, I'm totally blanking what those instruments are called. Is it just a pan? Does it say pan flute?
I don't think it's going to say in here.
My brain, I used to know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I used to live in New Mexico, and I knew all that stuff because it was really cool, and I love that music.
I don't know.
But, yep, anyway.
All right,
Somebody in the chat will remember at some point or something.
So, 1 week from tonight, we're back.
Hunter will be back. No, just kidding. Hunter will have filled out.
We're back on our normal schedule. Top 10 variety show, top 10 variety show.
But are you back to normal?
No, I'm never back to normal. 1 week from tonight, we have we did a poll for top 10 suggestions. And this tied.
Oh, that's right.
This tied with number 1.
Yes.
And this is the other one that tied.
Okay.
And it is top 10, 1 in 100 game.
Oh, yeah.
On Board Game Geek from 2001 to 3000. So each chunk of 100 games on the Board Game Geek top games.
Wait.
We pick our favorite. And I'm going to go one step further. I don't know if Rebecca will. She might. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to pick a game that lives there and not a game that's passing through.
That's new. I got you.
I'll pick both. So basically, there's a lot of the newer games.
They'll
start way down at the bottom because it's based on number of votes. So if you don't have very many votes, it pushes you down. So as they get more votes, they rocket up the list. So a lot of my favorite games are traveling through those.
So you're going to say they have to be at least a year old?
Ish, something like that.
Okay.
I mean, it's obviously not a new game. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to pick my favorite.
Okay.
And I'll pick a game, if it's not one that lives there, I'll pick another one as well. So I think it's good to do that because if you pick a brand new game, like Dead Reckoning, if you go out right now, it's stupid. That would probably ranked like
that's not
2,000 or something right now.
Yeah, that's not a true ranking. You're right. You need to give it time to kind of settle in.
So,
and people to give.
And I already pre-looked at it, and there's several games that are making their way up the list that are scattered throughout that section.
That's good. If I have the time, because this is right close to state.
It's pretty easy. You look at the 100 and
I got that,
pick your favorite.
My state competition is that weekend, so.
Excuses.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Top 10, 1 in 100 games, 2001 to 3000.
I like that. I like that idea, though. I like
this. We're going to definitely talk about lots of games that we may have never talked about on the show, which is fun. That's why I like this.
Yeah, those are fun. Top 10 variety shows. Zeris, that would be a hoot. Actually, you guys should do that. Top 10
variety shows?
They should pick their top 10 favorite variety shows.
Oh.
And then we could do things, more of the things you like.
Oh, you mean like those episodes? I've done polls on that before.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to do another one then.
Yeah, maybe. I actually thought about doing that. And we probably need to do some new segments.
We need to mix it up a little bit.
Think about it.
Although I really like your hers. I know. I would probably like. I would
amped up for that, man.
I know, it's hilarious. I like those. Those are a hoot. I like
amped
you
up.
You're so creative. It's so funny. And you go off the rails. It's
I get so amped up during this. All right.
I would do that today.
So we'll see you next time.
But
for a top 10 greatness, look up your favorites.
yes, your favorites out of the
and let us
2001
know
to
when we do
3000.
it.
I want to see your lists. That's going to be awesome. I think there's going to be a lot of good games to talk about. So good to see you all.
We're out of here.
See you soon.
If I can find the button. This one.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.